Hello, everyone, and welcome to the First Ticket Podcast number 62. Speaking with you today is Larsh, the casual mech warrior, followed by the usual host of Biter,
Blarg.
Ian,
Hi ho.
and Oldbob 10025.
I'm a banana.
Perfect. All right. So for today's topics, we're going to be recapping the Faction Warfare event that happened last week, the upcoming Vapor Eagle, which will be out tomorrow, the mech release of the Blood Ass for C-Bills and Flea for MC, the customer rewards and MechPack, which will also be out tomorrow, the patch notes as well for tomorrow, and if we have time, we're going to end on a fan-requested topic, which is just playstyles. How the hell do we play this game, and which ones do we prefer? Coming up next. All right, guys. So first topic, faction warfare. So I think I'm really the only one who played this. Am I right? Ian, I think you played a little bit.
Yeah, I think so.
Well, I've played with you, so kind of.
Okay. So, so Ian, did you have anything that you wanted to talk about faction warfare and how the event went, or?
I mean,
Yeah.
it's faction warfare. There's not much to add to what we've already said about it.
Okay, well, I guess I'll kind of take the reins then, since I know on the last podcast I really said I was not going to play the faction warfare event because I was tired of playing these kind of events, but turns out a few people in my Discord, whenever I would hop on, that was the only thing they were doing, so I wound up playing it anyway. So my thoughts on the event is, I mean, I don't know how often the people from PGI listen to our podcast, or if they take any, items to heart when they hear us talking about this kind of stuff, which is good. But I don't know. There's some good, but there's also some bad. Okay, I guess I'll kind of start with the good of faction warfare. So the good thing that really happens when they do these faction warfare events is that it gets us to play faction warfare if you're doing quick play. That's really the only thing good about when they do the faction warfare. Well, that and also the free war horns, the C-Bills. I think they're giving away MC, right?
Yeah.
When they do these,
Yeah.
So that's all good. That's all good and dandy.
They did give away a stupid amount of steebles. You could
Yeah,
get
so-
4.5 million per day.
So that was really good if you were space poor, which I approve.
Space poor. I love that.
So, yeah, talking to you straight if you actually listen to this podcast. So the thing is that I don't like about these events. Now, as we all know, I'm no lore buff. Okay, I really only know Battletech and MechWarrior from MechWarrior Online, and maybe even watching some of the old Battletech cartoons. So the one thing, whenever they first brought out faction warfare into MWO, is that I was really hoping to learn more of the lore about this game, so I can finally come on the podcast and talk to you, Bob, and Ian, and everyone about the lore of this game. But the faction warfare events never give me any lore content to really base anything off of.
Yeah.
Especially when they change the event from day to day, where it could be today you are House Merrick, tomorrow you're going to be some other faction. It really makes these loyalties feel trivial, in my opinion. And then because I thought faction warfare was going to be this giant global event that would stretch on for months on end, but I never get that feeling. To me, it's just like, okay, I've changed loyalty to whatever. It doesn't matter to me anymore. So I think that's the main crutch to me, is that the flavor that faction warfare should be, I never feel it. It just becomes another grind fest for free items, which is great. I don't mind free items. I really wish it would add more flavor.
Yeah,
I think that's what they're trying to do before. I don't know.
Yeah, actually, I could agree with you on that one. I know it sounds like I broke a record myself, but there's no lore per se, and generally they really took it out when they just made a clan versus an inner sphere, and that's it. I actually had a fun time fighting against Lau versus Davian, or David versus Karita, doing that kind of stuff. I had a blast doing that because it was different types of mechs, tactics, and everything else based off clans and Innersphere. Now, as far as like what you're talking about, lore, yeah, there's not much lore when you could just change from Jade Falcon to House Steiner, you know, basically like the next day. So like basically when they implemented the change, which I still gotta make a video about it, I still gotta do that. But when they changed that aspect of the of just switching over and everyone's a merc and there's no consequences for doing that, that really took the immersion effect. Like I sound like a broken record here. Out of faction warfare, there's no consequences. There's no, oh, okay, well, planet got taken. Big deal. I don't care. You know, I'll go play some quick play.
That's a good term to put out there. Is immersion. Now I was thinking, like last night, this morning, like how could we improve faction warfare? And Bob, Ian, you know more about the lore, but would this make any kind of sense? Because
no.
I don't know much about the backgrounds. I know. So for each you know faction, for each house and each clan, are there certain mechs or certain things, that go with each one? Could you just shoot off some examples?
Actually, okay, you want to go Ian first? I'll go.
Well, yeah, Kurita is the most prominent ones with the K2, the dragon, the Awesome dragon. Stuff like that. Devian is, for example, the Checker Mech. Leo has the Raven. There's a lot of diversity. Steiner, of course, with Atlas Zeus.
Okay.
Yep.
Yeah.
So we're saying that
this is something PGI have mentioned in the past. Something they're wanting to possibly implement. That you know, certain factions have little benefits, tiny benefits to using certain weapon systems or mechs.
Yeah, and that's what I think would be really awesome, because it's just like, okay, if okay, so for example, right now the event is currently on as of Saturday, Merrick versus Liao. So it's one of those things where, you know, I think it'd be interesting if they said, okay, if you're going to be House Merrick, if you take a mech with this certain weapon type, or if you just take this mech in general that is mostly a mech predominantly found in Merrick, we will give you bonuses to, you know, the battlefield.
Bonus C-bills or something like that might be a better idea.
They had mentioned that as well, that there certain actions in game they would and would not approve of. It's just obviously implementing all that is going to take quite a
I know.
Well, yeah, like what I was thinking too, I was thinking about this as well, like based off what you're talking about, Larsh, is since right now it's only clan versus like Innersphere. Let's say there's 30 planets in the Innersphere and 20 in the clan territory, right? So if, let's say that over a period of time the clans go, which always happens, they go to Terra or they take over a mass part of like Kurita. So let's say the supplement of supplies on certain planets, if you take over 4 planets that are mech producing planets, then the mech that is only for will be all like Innersphere mechs will be like plus 10% or plus like 20% cost because those planets were taken. That's what I talk about, like, you know, like immersion effect and actually consequences for the planets being taken. So all Innersphere mechs will be if they take over like I don't know, like, you know, 10 planets or something like that of mech producing planets, then they could also do weapon planets like as well. Same thing will go for the clans if you take over, and that would actually hurt the clans completely because those mechs are really expensive. So like if you go and take over like, you know, like 2 or 3 mech producing like the planets, then all clan mechs will be 10% cost higher than what they normally are. So that'll put some consequences in actually taking those planets instead of just the planets are there for no reason. Yeah, and that's what we're fighting on.
Nice idea, but
it'll be hard to implement though.
Yeah, currently, at least, you can always just instantly swap between factions. So if I want a cheaper Timberwolf for some reason, I switch to whatever faction can get cheaper Timberwolves. And the thing is, anyone who's taking part in like invasion mode, where you've got 4, you know, big drop decks for clan or IS, you already have a fairly large stable of mechs to begin with. You're not actually. I'm not really looking to buy a whole bunch of new mechs, so it's not even that much of an incentive.
Or how about just percentages for any clan weapons? Yeah, you know, that might be nice.
Yeah, or
you know.
Yeah, or I was thinking too, kind of like, you know, like I think you said like House Kurita uses dragons, right?
Yeah.
So
Well,
I was thinking, like, go ahead.
Well, the problem is, like, I know exactly where you're going on that because what's going to happen with Merrick, and it never gets to Merrick and never gets to Davion. Basically, when the clans come down, they always go down the corridor, going down to Terra, and they take over a little bit, like, here and there. So, Lau, Merrick, and Davion would have the, everyone would just be those clans instead of Steiner and, like, Kurita. So you have to make a like, universal thing for if, say, like 10 or 15 planets got taken over and now all mechs for the inner sphere are 10% more or something like that. That way, it's universal. Sorry. Go on.
So I guess I'm thinking in a kind of different direction, because I think, if we're gonna place in planets and monetary value and all those kind of factors, that'd be a lot of things that they would need to work on, which would be too much. I'm thinking more along the lines of, it seems like PGI is able to give and take away buffs, relatively easy, because of every month, every patch, we get buffs or debuffs. So I was thinking maybe it'd be interesting. So let's just say for like, if they had an event, like a week-long event, it was like House Kurita versus whatever. Well, it'd be like, okay, if you're in House Kurita, and if you take a dragon into the battlefield, because you are sided with Kurita, like dragons for this week in faction warfare will get this buff for the week, which will encourage you to play more of like a House Kuritan, would, by bringing out the mechs that they would, to encourage you to play them.
The thing about that one is, though, the buffs we're currently seeing are like they're changing the stats, like actually changing the stats rather than applying temporary buffs. I don't think there's currently a system to apply temporary buff that only lasts one game. So that would be extra work. But I really like the idea that you had earlier, Lars. Just give extra steebles if you use a certain mech.
Yeah.
That alone should be incentive enough, and that would
exactly.
add a lot.
Because
there was
go ahead.
What I proposed, previous podcast was that you could just have in your drop deck, you're only allowed to take so much tonnage, but if you're a Kurita and you take a dragon, it counts as 5 tons less. So it's a 55. Yeah, it counts as 55 against your drop limit. Therefore, you're encouraged to take faction mechs because you're able to stuff more into your drop deck.
That would be super cool, because that would give the thing that I'm missing in faction warfare is flavor.
Yeah.
I know we've talked about immersion and flavor for months to almost a year now when it comes to faction warfare, but I think that would be a really interesting thing of what you're talking about, Biter, is that, give benefits to the tonnage of your drop deck for certain mechs that belong or are seen in certain houses or clans. And that would be like, okay, yeah.
It would be kind of funny if Steiner got like minus 10 tons to Atlases. So
that would be amazing.
Playing against Steiner, they would have a whole bunch of Atlases.
Yeah.
But that would make sense, though, because it would be like, holy shit, we're going against Hal Steiner. And I've always heard people talk about, they always bring so many Atlases, but you never see them in faction warfare.
Yeah.
Because it's not a really good faction warfare mech. But if they gave you the incentive to use it, you'd probably see them a lot more and be like, all right, Hal Steiner's coming in. They're going to have a shit ton of Atlases because that's who they are in the lore. And it'd be so fun to see that.
No, I would have to say, though, that you would have to make that for only house units and not mercenaries. That way it puts some incentive for them to actually be house units and they can't change instead of just jumping over to different types of things.
Well, I think being a mercenary would still be good, but the thing is, whenever they do these events, don't enforce changing your sides every day.
Yeah.
That's the problem for me too, is that, like, make the event like a week-long event, just choose 2 sides. You can still be a merc, I would think would be fine. And being a merc would allow you to choose a side for a week and maybe just like lock it down. Like, don't allow you to change it for a week.
Well,
like,
I think let players choose their own how they want to do it. But
I guess
the implementation for this most recent event, made sure that you had to come in every day. You play a bit for one. You switch to a new faction of the day. You switch to it. You play through it, and then you switch over to the other faction, and you repeat that over again. Which certainly undermines hugely the loyalty thing. Whereas if you just had play faction warfare and you get rewards, then you can choose whichever faction you want and stick with them if you want, or you can switch factions to play with your friends.
Yeah, because right now, and I can attest to it from last night, from doing a stream last night with a few guys from my Discord, is that we were doing House Merrick for a while, and we're like, all right, we're Merrick, we're playing the game, but we control like nothing on the map, so we're gonna get raffle stomped every single game because we own nothing. No one's playing House Merrick. Everyone's doing Liao. But we wound up getting all of our objectives done for the event. So like, all right, I guess we'll just change up to House Merrick. And it's like, all right, now we're winning everything. But it's like it made everything so lopsided almost because you know, because I don't know, it felt like, all right, I'm fighting so hard for this one team, and it's like, okay, I finished the event for the one side. I'm going to change loyalty for all that crap that I fought for. I'm going to now lose because I'm going to the opposing side.
Yep, totally undo all the progress I just did for one side.
Exactly, because we did so much freaking scouting and moved the bar so far within like, you know, 40 minutes for our side. And it's like, all right, we're now going to just rewind it, undo all the progress we did, and it's going to mean up to nothing at this point. And it didn't feel rewarding, except for maybe the free war horn that I got. You know.
See, the problem is though, faction warfare really needs a major revamp.
But yeah, but I think what Biter brought up is the idea of just maybe giving some incentive to bring certain mechs to bring down that tonnage would be a huge immersion point to bring in the mechs that go with those houses. And that's what I want to see is, you know, house mechs being brought out because that's their like bread and butter of what they use in battle. That's all I gotta say, because like I want to get into the lore, I want to get into the immersion, but this is the only game besides BattleTech that I play. But even BattleTech, I really got to read into it.
Yeah.
You know, and like I want to see this in action. But
well, BattleTech has double the amount of like immersion than Mechwarrior does.
And it just thrusts me into it. It's just a giant wave of stuff, and I'm just getting overwhelmed.
But the problem with
but it's good.
Oh yeah, I definitely like, you know, especially if you read the little the highlight things they actually put in there. It's actually really good.
Which I do, which is a huge help. But yeah, all right. So, but I think that's all. I think it's all I really got about faction warfare. The good bits. Oh yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, I mean, I didn't really do the event because, as I said, I was burnt out from Mechwarrior Online doing the huge loot bag event. And then immediately afterwards, instead of having just a week-long event that I could do at my own pace, they asked me to come back every day and do a faction, then switch to another faction. It's a lot of extra hassle, and I just earned a bunch of stuff. So, yeah, I mean, the problems with faction warfare are the same as always, so to speak. But for me, this was just a bit too much after a big event that I just spent a large amount of time on.
I'm curious, Lars, did you get any salt from that, from the faction warfare events?
Oh, from last night? Yeah, we had some. Not during scouting. Scouting was actually pretty fair, because we were bringing out the streak taros last night for the last half of my stream, and we were just raffle stomping everyone, but people were like, wow, good game, because they didn't expect it.
Wow.
During the invasion matches and those kind of matches, one person in my group said it was like herding cats, and it really is. Whenever you might do a group of 5 people, you got a whole other group of people that might be together or they might not be. And yeah, there was salt to be had because we did not win, I think, one of those matches, and it was a bad time.
And the event is so short that you might as well just sort of do scouting anyway.
Exactly.
Yeah.
You know, it's just rough.
True.
But yeah, that's all I got from faction warfare. So.
Okay.
Let's get on to all the new stuff, because there's a big upcoming patch giving us a whole bunch of mechs and some balance changes.
Vapor Eagle.
The new mech is indeed the Vapor Eagle, a 55-ton clan battle mech.
I have to say, this mech looks awesome. I love how it looks. It's just that little one eye thing just looks great.
Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, I like the look of it. The cockpit is a bit different from what the promotional image does, but I don't mind, actually. It does have this creepy look to its head almost. And its arms are carrying the like little pistols. The ATM-3 or machine guns and lasers and all that.
Yeah, true. It looks like that.
But yeah, I think the overall look looks kind of nice. Yeah, kind of like how Biter said. I really like how they changed the cockpit from the like largish window. Now we're down to like a small little pod window. I want to see how it looks whenever they release the video, usually of what the cockpit looks like.
Yeah.
Hoping maybe later this weekend. Of course, by Monday it might be out by then. But I'm hoping it's not like the Piranha, where, because you know how in the Piranha, if you look off to the sides, there's little like slit portals. I'm hoping this isn't the same problem.
It's more Cyclops than Piranha, hopefully.
Now, the one thing I thought was interesting, all the quirks are actually jump jet quirks, except for like I think one or two of them, basically. And I never seen a jump jet quirk being used for any type of mechs that came out so far.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I'm liking how they're getting creative with the quirks now. They're not because we're now seeing a plus 15 on the initial thrust of jump jets and plus 15% on jump jet burn time on all of them except for the Vapor Eagle 4, which the 4 you're only getting a missile velocity of plus 10% and a cooldown overall of everything of minus 10%.
Oh, definitely.
It can't take jump jets, so that's why they're giving it something else.
Oh yeah. Huh? It's just interesting. I've never seen that before.
Yeah, and that's a laser vomit build pretty much with 2 missile points. So I mean, not bad.
Well, it's gonna start pop-tarting a lot. Builds like this.
It could do. The thing is, 55 Tanner jump jets are not that efficient. They're all right. You could take 3 tons of jump jets, 6 slots, and it'll get you up to 57.5 meters. And then you've got the quirks, and on top of that, you can stack skill tree. So yeah, it can become a very jumpy mech. But yeah, the only differentiating thing between the Vapor Eagles is the hard points or if it can take mask, really, because they all share the same quirks.
Do you even have like ECM? I don't see anything.
No ECM, I don't think. Just the hero has mask.
Mm-hmm.
Which I just rip out because I always forget to use it.
Yeah, but if you're crazy enough, you can go mask with XL 400 max agility tree plus max jump jet tree. And maybe like a small laser or 2 and zip around the map.
Oh, and also Bob.
Yeah.
Not to pour some salt for this here, but I was also going ahead and I was Googling some images of the Vapor Eagle, also known as the Goshawk, is the alternative name for this.
Don't tell me it's Dark Age.
Oh, do you know what this looks like?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. It looks a lot like the Dark Age one.
Shut up. That does not exist in my universe.
It looks so similar. Look at the head. Look at the head of the Dark Age mech. It looks very similar to it.
I will never look at that head. Never. It does not exist in my universe. No. It can't. You can't.
It looks like Dark Age. Look at it. It even has the one arm machine gun. It looks like the Dark Age mech. Yes.
It's infiltrating so far. The roughneck and this. Oh, that means I have to make a video of killing these things. Awesome. I'm okay with that.
It looks like it. It looks because I was going against the BattleTech one versus the Dark Age one, and it looks so much more like Dark Age.
Interesting. So I'm having to hunt these things down.
Yeah, but it's but the alternative name is the Goshawk.
Yeah.
All right, so other than appearance, how do we expect this mech to actually perform on the battlefield?
It's a big Phoenix Hog, isn't it?
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah. I mean, 55 tonners have been fairly good, at least like the Stormcrow in particular. The Black Lantern can be pretty neat as well, but it's really hard to, you got to really make use of that speed and the limited space.
But of course, the Black Lantern doesn't have any jump jets either, and this thing with its quirks is going to be pretty sweet on maneuverability, I think.
I agree with you on that one too. Like, I'm a medium pilot, so this is going to be fun to go ahead and pilot. As far as jumping around, doing things, and pop-tarting, all that kind of stuff. So I'm going to be excited about like using it though. As far as like it standing up to fire and all that kind of stuff, I don't know. Like, I'll have to wait till it comes out though.
I mean, it's gonna be like your typical Phoenix Hawk speedy mech. Don't stand still. I can say that right now. But it's one of those things where I know whenever we first talked about this mech last month or a few months back or whatever, I was kind of like hit and miss. But once they released the quirks of the jump jet quirks, I'm all in. Like, I'm getting giddy, and it might also because it is getting cooler in my area. So today we had our first snowfall, and for some reason, whenever this weather pattern hits up my area, I get to be like a complete shut-in, and it's like, all right, time to hunker down, played video games, edit videos, and get ready because I take a lot of vacation time as well around this time of year. And this month is also my birthday, so I'm going to be taking some time off, hopefully for my birthday. Play some Mechwarrior, and I cannot freaking wait for this thing to come out now.
Yeah. Unlike the other Clan 55 tonners, which do actually get some survival stuff, this one, of course, is coming out of the gate with no survival. But just looking at it, it does look like it has a fairly good shape. I think, yeah, you can run and gun with it just like with a Phoenix Hawk and spread damage as long as you're moving and twisting. You have to be careful, though. Unlike a Phoenix Hawk, you haven't got a whole bunch of extra armor or structure in the arms, and a fair amount of the weapons are mounted in the arms. The jump jet quirks are nice, but a lot of clan weapons, like clan medium lasers, of course, do need a lot of face time. So you're a bit limited if you want to use a jump poke style. You kind of want to stick to lock-on weapons like LRMs, ATMs, streaks, or PPCs, things that, you just need to crest the hill and boom, you send out your volley.
Yeah, I think this is going to be a very good streak mech. So if you want to go ahead and hunt lights, I think this is going to be good. And actually, yeah, good point. I almost forgot about the horrible time when the Phoenix Hawk first came out and my arms would get blown off all the time. That was a horrible time. Forgot about that. Hopefully this is not going to be the same issue, but yeah, there are no armor or structure quirks on any of these guys.
Yeah, Clan 55 tonners have been quite good in the past, and they've always been Omni-Mechs, so you're stuck with a certain engine and slots. With a Battle Mech, though, you can throw in whatever engine you want. If it turns out this mech just wants to sit back and boat ATM 24, you could do that. If you want to go super speedy, it can do it. If you want to go super jumpy, it can do that. And it's always got a whole mix of hard points, though.
Yeah,
it hasn't always got a huge number of, if you want to do the energy boat, I think there's one.
Like seven. Yeah, 7 of them.
Yeah. Missiles, there aren't many with a lot of missiles, but there is 1 or 2. And the hero, even though it's got mask, it's very sparse on the hard points for the most part.
Yeah, that hero mech is not packing a whole lot.
If you want to go mask with a speedy mask mech, almost just the black already is there. So I'm not sure if the hero will really find a place to shine.
Yeah, unless you want the mask with jump jets, but you already have a what am I thinking of? Shadowhawk for that as well.
Wolverine.
Wolverine, yeah.
But this one will be the speediest 55 tonner. That hero. That is a bit like the Zeus, one of the speediest assault mechs. You can zoom around super fast, like 159.6 or so, I think, with speed tweak. So 160 kph. You're going locust speeds in a 55 tonner, and you can fly with flying jump jets.
Especially when this thing has a max engine at 400.
Yeah. That's what you need, is the 400 engine, speed tweak, max jump jets, 2 small lasers.
I mean, one of them I'm going to do it just because it just sounds ridiculous.
Yeah.
And with this thing having, it looks like it's going to have decent hitboxes. When you're going that fast, no one's going to be able to keep a target on you.
I just wish the hero, in some regards, because of its Spartan hard points, was given it some survival, so that you would lean into just being the ultimate giant squirrel.
Yeah, because the hero, they're giving you 3 ballistic, 2 energy, 1 missile, 1 AMS with that mask and jump jet. Oh boy, 2 missile. I'd probably pack on maybe 2 streaks.
No, 1 missile.
Guns. Oh shit! Yeah, right. Sorry, 1 missile. Yeah, 1 streak 6. I don't know.
You could pick, the best candidate for that is something like an ATM 12.
Yeah,
if you have a single missile hard point.
And they're looking at it too, like Larch, you're talking about your arms being blown off. Most of the hard points are on the arms, which really sucks. I never did like that.
Yeah, because it's 3 ballistic in your left arm, the 2 energy in your right arm, and 1 missile in your torso. So everything you're packing is going to be in the arms, not hero mech.
Yeah.
So, so
other than the missile on the side torso. So you go max engine, max jump jet, mask, and an ATM 3 and fly around.
It's going to be a complete annoyance.
Yes.
Just go up to the wall on a HPG and just shoot from there.
Exactly.
Paint it all black and just hang out up there.
Oh, wow.
And one little thing to mention is all of them have AMS in the CT, which is sort of nice. It doesn't get blown off very quickly, but also limits where you can put your ammo.
Yeah. No, Biter, wait, no. Forget ATMs. I'm doing NARC.
Yeah.
NARC boat.
Narc, 3 machine guns, and 2 small lasers. The ultimate
There we
support
go.
boat.
Now
And
we're
a
thinking.
laser AMS. I'm not getting hot anytime soon.
With the zoom module, yeah.
Yeah. All right. Yeah. So that's the Vapor Eagle. We have to be quite. I'm rather interested to see how it turns out.
Yeah.
But
I'm excited.
yeah, a lot of potential, but also a few things holding it back. Still. Next, get on to the next set of mechs they're releasing. The loyalty rewards are coming out this patch.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's actually going to be pretty
And-
cool. I'm actually excited about that
We've
one.
been given quirks. We've been given quirks for all of them too.
Mm-hmm.
And what's funny, Lars, is like when you posted those pictures in Discord, my wife was like, "Wow, that's really cool." They put the put the quirks with the picture. I'm like, "Yeah, that's interesting." And then I kind of like did a little like research, and they actually put it up, and and she thought you did it, and she was like, "Wow, that's really cool." Lars did that.
No, that was their part, which good on them. It's kind of nice to
Oh, yeah.
actually see the mechs, see the quirks, see the loadout for yourself. Yeah, it's nice now.
That is cool. I definitely like that idea that they're doing, and I hope to do it for. I guess they can't do it for all of them because that's a S ton of pictures to go and do though. But still, it was a nice idea though.
I mean, it's not that hard to do. I mean, if you think about it.
Well, yeah, just cut, overlap it. I guess like layers.
Yeah.
It was a bit like for the at least when I was doing the screenshot competition, you have to go to a nice spot on the map and then get the mech moving and shooting and take a shot with it. Maybe they
Yeah.
have better tools in house, but yeah, it takes a little bit of extra work. And I'm not sure. I mean, we can get into this later, but I saw there was a lot of mistakes here and there. Like initially when they posted this up, the rifleman was listed as having 8 energy hardpoints in its quirk list, which
really?
obviously
Oh.
was. Yeah, which was not how the mech was originally slated, and they have fixed it. But you're going to make more of those kind of mistakes if you're also having to do all these images, and there's a rush to the finish line with any patch usually.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I do wish the rifleman had 3 ballistic instead of only 2 because generally you a rack 3 rack 2 builds are actually a lot of fun to use, and you'll have to use 2 5s in order for it to be like a kind of halfway decent then because 2 rack 2s really doesn't do much.
Speaking of that rifleman, can we talk a little bit about the quirk that it has, which is the
Sure.
rack jam ramp down duration of -10%?
Yeah, go ahead.
That sounds interesting. So if you're a person who likes rack, this is going to be I think the first mech with this kind of quirk.
Yeah,
The rack
usually
jam
racks.
ramp down.
Yeah, racks usually do not benefit from a lot of quirks. Like if your mech has cooldown quirks, it does not benefit racks. Racks only sort of benefit mostly from velocity, range maybe, but the further you're throwing those bullets, the more you have to lead your target,
Yeah.
which leads into troubles. But yeah, this one has velocity and its own unique rack quirk, rack jam ramp down duration. Now, I wonder what this actually refers to. When does it mean that bar it fills up, and if you get it up to 75%, you stop firing, and it will take 10 seconds to go back down to 0, but now it'll take 9 seconds, so to speak.
Pretty sure
Or
what this means.
Yeah,
or
that
does
sounds
it-
logical.
yeah, because the other way you could interpret it is I think it makes sense, because I was thinking also you keep firing until it jams. Does it take 10 seconds to unjam or not? But I think it takes the same amount of time to unjam. It's just the time for the bar to it unjams at 0, doesn't it? Yeah. So this is you can only make use of this as long as you stop firing.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah.
I mean, it's a new
Yeah.
quirk that they're probably going to put on other mechs, just like the HSLs, and so that's probably what's going to happen. Like on some of the mechs that are designed for it.
Yeah, because this one does start with 2 rotary 5s, so
Mhm.
it does make sense to actually give it a rack quirk. I mean, it's a very handy quirk if you're only seeing the enemy for short durations, which certainly does happen with rack mechs. But there are times, like as a rack player, you sort of want to push up, catch a guy out in the open, and spray him with as many bullets as you can before your weapons start jamming up, and then you head back into cover.
Yeah.
And in this case, at least, this quirk won't actually benefit you at all. but you won't mind since you just put a lot of damage into someone's face. But this does help it with short little engagements here and there.
True.
Yeah.
And how about that Jenner?
The Jenner? You mean the...
Sorry, Javelin. Javelin.
All right, just to wrap up on the Rifleman, it is unique in the sense that it can actually take jump jets. But jump jets do not go too well with racks, other than suddenly taking a high position, like jumping on top of a hill on like HPG Manifold, a Mining Collective actually. Taking an odd position in there, that's sort of maybe worth it, but for the most part,
helpful. I mean,
the racks do not combo very well with its unique trait of having jump jets.
Yeah, and also a Rifleman. Sadly, I don't like using the Rifleman. I never got used to it.
I love the Hero Rifleman. It actually works out pretty well.
I
the
just
two
had
LE10s.
horrible times in mine. Because I guess maybe I'm just bad at torso twisting, but my sides always get blown off.
You play it like a clan mech, your fire support.
Yeah, definitely. Like the problem with actually torso twisting, you just have to just take it, because once you use your arms as shields, your weapons go away. So you just have to take it, basically. Take it like a man.
Yeah.
And if someone knows what they're doing, even though you're torso twisting, they can shoot at your waist, at your midriff, and still hit torso components.
Yeah.
Which you can sort of try and counteract by wiggling your arms forwards and backwards, like, trying to block the angle, but you're getting into a very confusing situation.
Just dancing in one place, trying to avoid it,
Yeah, very true.
All right, so Bob, back with the Javelin.
Yeah,
I love
6 ballistic.
I'm gonna win it stock.
With the snub nose and 6 machine gun.
Yep.
That actually might be pretty cool, pretty fun to go play. 6 heavy machine guns and 1 snub might be kind of cool. Because I saw a little
tonnage for heavy machine guns though.
I'll make it work. Well, I saw Multimetal play Irby with 4 heavy machine guns, and damn, that thing was like just crazy.
Yeah, he fucking killed me in that video.
Oh yeah, actually you were in that video. Yeah, basically that's why I watched it.
Yeah, I was the champion, and he fucking demolished me real quick in that.
That was funny. Sorry,
Yeah, well, the thing though, at least about an Irby with heavy machine guns, even though the machine guns aren't good, the Irby is really tanky, so it survives long enough to make good use of it. This mech, however, just trying to get in close with 6 machine guns or heavy machine guns, even somewhat light machine guns, it's only got the regular 5 structure to each component quirks, which is nice, but you're gonna really have to pick your fights with this one. It's neat to see another Inner Sphere machine gun mech. There is a Flea with 8 machine guns, but obviously you're only 20 tons, and Inner Sphere machine guns relatively heavy compared to Clan.
Yeah.
This does indeed start with 6 machine guns, 1 snub, and max jump jets, so it can get around, and it's already got a payload ready to go that makes some sense. I would only say that I might change it to have less jump juice and something like Pharaoh or full Pharaoh armor.
Yeah, definitely.
And I mean I would maybe even swap out the snub nose to maybe just like medium lasers possibly. I don't know.
Could do,
because it does have 2 energy hardpoints on it.
Yeah, so the mech, other than the 5 structural quirks everywhere, has a 10% cooldown quirk, which technically could be applied to something like a 2 AC2 build.
Jesus Christ, man.
If you're doing energy hardpoints, the biggest beneficiaries are PPCs, of course, since you're only affecting the cooldown. So medium lasers, they still have the full burn duration.
Okay.
And if you're not generating much heat, you might as well just take a PPC weapon, because you're not going to overheat, hopefully, with just 1 snub PPC.
Right. All right. I mean, so I'm getting a slight Mislinks feel from this thing all of a sudden.
Yeah, it is kind of Mislinksy. Not as many machine guns. You're not stuck with a probe, thankfully.
Yeah.
But you are stuck at IS tech and all that.
That's still all right though. You know what? Like maybe I'll give it a chance actually, because I wasn't really like too thrilled. But now that we're talking about it, all right, yeah.
How with the night gear?
The only things I would do to quirk this thing a little would be an extra couple of hit points on the limbs. Like the legs on the javelin are quite big targets, and if you're jumping around trying to use machine guns, your legs are going to get hit a lot more than usual. And the arms, where a lot of your weapons are located, should be more protected. So, if everything is just 5 structure, give the limbs 7 structure, or something like that, or turn it into armor. Just a little bit of thing to just give this mech a little bit more staying power. That's all I think it needed. Yeah, it'll be a fun little mech skittering around, trying to pretend to be a piranha. I've got half the machine guns, guys!
Okay, and what do you guys think about the clan reward, which is the night gear?
It definitely screams the old Meta Knight gear with dual gauss and dual large laser.
Oh yeah,
That's
2 ballistic, 2 energy.
Mm-hmm.
It does have a heavy laser duration of negative 10%. That's interesting. I don't think I've seen that on any other type of mechs. Is that a new type of quirk?
That's been around. That is on some mechs. I think one of the Hellfires has it. They put it on mechs here and there. The thing is, most people don't. If you're using heavy lasers, you're usually there for a while burning people. So the 10% is nice, but it doesn't really matter. And this is a set of 8-piece quirk. So.
Ooh, yeah.
That's my guess, at least. So 10% laser duration is nothing to really write home about, and 10% ballistic is neat, but you're not keeping it for that. What you're going to do is switch out the hard points to get what you want.
Yeah.
Because the main point about this night gear is in the right torso is an ECM hard point.
Yes.
Yeah, that's a give.
One of them's in the head, and I was just thinking, but Clan Large does fit in the head.
Clan Large is our slot.
Yeah.
And with your teeny little bit of jump juice.
Yeah. Well, that teeny jump juice is 4 tons worth of jump jets, I think, isn't it? But
Very
for
true.
the most part, it's a C build boosted night gear. So if you haven't bought the hero already, it's nice to just take your build from before and take it over. And you could even, if you aren't using the right torso, shove in an extra ECM module. The thing is, though, the night gear is generally starved for hard points. So losing a hard point possibly in the right torso can hurt a little bit. But still, you could do some crazy stuff like 3 ATM 12 under ECM. With jump jet with this thing probably, which would be pretty scary.
Yeah.
Yep. So I think the night gear is kind of straightforward, honestly.
And these are all the most accessible rewards. You just need to buy, standard packs and stuff, and that's basically all the rewards I'm getting. Whereas the next 2 mechs are the top tier rewards. Warhammer.
So the Warhammer. Now the Warhammer, I'm looking forward to because this is the first ECM Warhammer variant. I'm looking much forward to this one.
Well, that's going to knock out the normal Warhammer that has like 7 energy, because I'll rather take this than actually that one. So I'm probably going to be selling that old one and actually just using this one here.
So, I mean, there are some trade-offs though. The 7 energy Warhammer predominantly has its energy in its torsos, giving it a very nice high. Very nice hard points, very high. And I think it has like 2 missile backup. You can, shove on 2 missile weapons on it.
Yeah, actually,
this one though, 4 of the energy weapon hard points are stuck in the arms, which is relatively low, and the arms also are quite, can be quite good shields. But that's a problem when most of your weapons are mounted there.
Yeah. As you
see, you're losing 1 energy hard point, but they're a lot. They're a much worse hard placement.
So I see that we have 4 in the arms. Where are the? So we got 1 in the head. Where's the other one at?
Center torso, probably.
I think it's like a side torso.
Is it? Okay.
Yeah, it just looks like it. Yeah.
But with this one, you are getting PPC velocity plus 20% and PPC heat generation of negative 10%.
That's left torso.
Okay.
Yeah, left torso.
Well,
it does.
I would be super excited about this mech if it had 2 machine gun slots. That's literally all for me. If it had 2 machine gun slots, I would put in the standard Warhammer 8R loadout and call it a day.
But this has no ballistics in it.
I'm not excited about laser vomit.
Yeah. For the most part, I mean, you could do something like an MRM40 plus 6 medium lasers. The MRM40 makes you have a big side torso, and all the medium lasers are kind of exposed, but at least you have ECM. For the most part, though, I already own a Tempest. 6 missile. Sorry, 6 energy and what was it? 3 missile. It's got even more missileage than this does, and instead of just a little bit of structure everywhere, it's got armor, really strong armor quirks all over the place. So I'll just stick to my Tempest, honestly.
Well, you know, if it's a free mech, and so a lot of people actually go use it for that.
Well, I wouldn't say it's a free mech.
It's
You
not-
have
not
to
technically
no,
free.
okay,
money for
it's a free if you spent the money for it. But yeah.
Yeah, because funny enough, the Warhammer's the one mech I'm not getting this year.
I'm not getting either of the top tier rewards, and I was thinking, do I want to spend more money to get this mech? And in the end, it's like, well, no, I've already spent money before getting a mech that's better.
Yeah.
True.
I think I'm listed as getting this one. I just like Warhammers in general. I think they're just a solid mech
Same.
for almost any variant. To get a ECM one, I'm looking forward to it. I don't know what I'm going to use on it yet, but I will be definitely looking forward to this one. I will make it work. I don't care what I do with it.
It'll probably work fine enough. It's just it's not rocking my socks off. It's not something like the point of the loyalty rewards in some ways is to try and make you go out there and spend some more cash. And I'm thoroughly not cashed out on this thing.
Yeah.
What was last
speaking of
year's?
one that Well, speaking of one that I'm not cashed out on is the Marauder 2C.
Yeah.
I'm not too thrilled about this one.
Was
That's a thing that exists.
I mean, we already
Okay.
have a Laser Vomit Marauder.
So there's a whole bunch of Marauders with laser vomit, even some with missile or ballistic to add on to their laser vomit. This one brings just pure laser vomit. It doesn't bring anything unique to
Nothing with
the
the
Marauder
quirks
2
either.
table.
Is there a jump jet Marauder already?
Yeah, there's already
Yeah.
It does jump.
There's several jump jet marauders, and the thing is, compared to even other energy marauders, this one is the majority of the hard points are located in the arms or the center torso, not even in the side torsos. Like the arms are a little low, and I always kind of liked having them in the torsos, just so they don't get blown off first. In the end, yeah, it's a thoroughly underwhelming mech. It is more of the same through and through.
Yeah. For the two mechs that they have as a loyalty rewards, the Warhammer and the Marauder 2C, I don't know why they picked these. They should have actually had a little bit more, I don't know, better quirks or better mechs or like some special spec or something. Because after talking about it just now, I'm looking at these, actually taking a good look at them. Like,
Yeah, I mean the value to getting this back from paying your money for mech packs, the Marauder 2C, you could just
buy the collector pack of the Marauder 2C and you've got a C-Bill boosted variant. Buy the Hero Marauder 2C and you've got a unique, interesting Marauder 2C. Much more unique and interesting than this.
Yeah, so this one I think they kind of dropped the ball on.
I think though, most of the time, people will probably gonna get it for the paint job because it has those little wings on it and all that kind of stuff. Just like the other mechs have,
it's pretty.
those, unique jobs. It's pretty, but yeah, like you said, they did drop the ball on this one though. I would say.
If you're already spending plenty of money on this game and getting the reward, then yeah, it's neat to get a Marauder with C-Bill boost and a fancy paint scheme. If you were looking to get this reward, I really don't think it's worth it. As we said, just get the collector pack of the Marauder 2C, get the hero, and just why this one? It just is so underwhelming. All I would do to make it interesting is take away 2 energy hard points and add 1 missile, 1 ballistic, something like that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So I don't know.
Yeah.
But I think that kind of goes over all the loyalty. Just trying to keep track of time, guys.
No, Lars, the most important stuff is still open.
Order of the Sword Medal.
Order of the Sword Medal. I'm kind of mad I'm not getting that one.
Yeah.
That's beautiful. And it's something I totally need in all of my Debian mechs.
Yeah, I forgot about all the little cockpit items. Yeah.
But also, the other stuff, the Pollux Heavy Tank is interesting choice. Not a tank you hear all that often. It's an artillery piece.
Yep.
I tried to Google it. I couldn't find it.
Really interesting, and that one's gonna be not good for Bob. The last item you can get, the Manai Domini, this is Dark Age. Those are the Red of Black enhanced cyborgs.
God damn it, man!
That's a Warhorn.
Dark Age!
I kind of want to know what it sounds like. Like,
Same.
Why in the hell
I
they have
want-
a elemental keychain when there's no elementals like in the game?
Because
I
look
don't
at
think
look at the Mech K9 on the key though. I love that.
Yeah, the Dark Age dude. I mean, come on, man.
Yeah, but going with Biter. Okay, just because whenever I saw the Warhorn, I was like a head. So we're gonna have just two heads mounted on each side of my cockpit, staring at me the whole entire time. If that's the case, it better say something, and the mouth better fucking move.
Yeah, they better have something going cool on that thing, man. Like maybe lights up with the
it lights up and
Yeah.
says, "Buy more MechPacks."
Yeah,
enhanced
I
imaging
mean-
or something.
I mean, I'm all about Warhorns, but this is a very interesting choice for a Warhorn because it's a head.
They need
Yes.
to
You
redo the
got
Phoenix
two of 'em.
Warhorns. That's what they need to do.
Like last
Especially since
year-
it's a lot of flag-related Warhorn.
Yeah, last year wasn't it? What I think the bagpipe warhorns, and
Yeah.
that one I could understand.
Oh yeah,
Oh,
that
yeah.
was great.
That was cool.
But this one is interesting choice, guys. Interesting choice.
I'd just like to point out that out of all the things we've talked about today, the loyalty rewards have the most lore in them. With the
Yeah.
sort of
Yeah, with
flag
the
statue, the tanks.
cockpit items. Yeah,
Or the sword
The
medal
Order of the
too.
Sword medal.
Yeah, true.
yeah.
That's interesting. Huh.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Now,
so-
one thing, just last reckon about all of these mechs is, even if you don't get them now, many months down the line, they will become available for C-bills. So if you really want to know, I mean, the Javelin, for example, is not too hard to get, but if you're kind of keen on it, you can still wait and get it for C-bills down the line. ECM on the Night Gear, you can wait until that becomes available as an Omnipod. You can buy an ECM Warhammer later down the line, and if you really want another Marauder 2C with awkward HUD points for some reason, you could just wait for it.
Or just buy it now.
Buy it now. Get it.
Or just buy one with better HUD points. Yes.
Yeah, exactly.
Did they ever make a year one cupcake? I'm
They
just
probably
curious
did.
I think so.
because that's the only cupcake I don't have.
Yeah, I think I have the year 2 going.
Yeah, the
forward
year
from
one is in
there.
my Ubi. There's definitely one.
Okay.
Oh
Okay.
man.
Damn, I'm
So,
missing that one.
so I think that kind of takes care of all the loyalty stuffs. Real quick, I guess this is not a huge thing, but we did bring it up during the intro. You can now get a blood ass for C-bills and a flea for MC.
Yep. This is
Yeah,
neat
so-
because it means all the Blood HUD Omnipods are available for C-bills now,
Yep.
including reinforcements. I would suggest probably getting just one of them with the ECM in the center torso. There's one with ECM and one with ECM at jump jet, so make sure you choose carefully.
I still can't understand why they actually do this. You know, as far as as far as making money for a company, if they're hemorrhaging money a lot of times, and want to make more money, I don't know. I cannot understand why they put them out for C-bills, or like say the Flea for MC. I don't understand that. I don't know.
Well,
I mean, it's one of those,
it's for
things
the
where
free
it
to
just-
play angle, like at least people
Yeah.
talking about. You can't ever get a blood asp unless you pay real money.
Sorry. I'm thinking something else there. Sorry, I didn't
Okay,
have my coffee yet,
Alright.
man. Yeah, actually, you're right.
Oh,
Sorry.
yeah, I was gonna
I
say
haven't
'cause this
coffee
game is
yet.
technically free to play, so you gotta
Yeah.
bring them out for C-bills down the
Yeah.
line anyway.
Yeah. The one thing
Yeah.
I could understand would be to have the MC make out 2 months in advance, just to give some extra incentive there. But
Well, it'll probably just the purchase ahead of time, you get extra stuff. But they should actually make this later on, though, like maybe I don't know, 4 or 5 months or something like down the road or something like that, to at least they'll make some money on it, on say like the Flea or something like that. I don't know.
One other thing to mention, I'm not sure I've seen this in previous C-bill releases, but the Blood Asp actually had a sale when it came out for C-bills, 50% off MC price for its camo patterns, for its cockpit items, for its bolt-ons.
Oh, that's interesting.
Oh, okay, yeah.
I'm not sure when and how long that sale lasts, but even if you bought the Blood Asp initially, now is the time to go into the store, pick up more of those cockpit items if you really like them, pick up a camo scheme if you really want one of those, and even like bolt-ons, I guess. if you like bolt-ons, now is the time to shove some of them on, because on launch the mechs don't come out with bolt-ons, and when they come out for C-bills, the bolt-ons are 50% off. So that's the prime time, if they're going to continue this, to get bolt-ons for your mechs.
Huh. All right, that's pretty cool. I like that.
I think I'll get some big wings for my Flea later on.
Yeah, when it comes out for C-bills, because obviously the Flea, even though it's coming out for MC, hasn't got its own attendance sale either.
Yeah,
not yet anyway.
I mean, for 545, or actually, I think the 19 is the one with the 8 machine guns, right? The Flea 19 is the 8 machine guns. I think so. For 475, actually, that is a good price for that fun mech. Like, have it from my alt account, and it is a lot of fun to play.
Yeah, though there's a Flea, I think, available with mask and ECM, which I think has a more universal appeal. If you want a light 20-tonner with machine guns, A, you want clan tech, because you really can't shove that many machine guns in with IS tech, and B, there's already a Piranha.
Yeah. But if you only use like Innister, it's pretty fun to play.
Yeah, granted, my mask ECM, I've made it into a tag mech for scouting.
Yeah, but that one is
so fast for tagging people.
Mm-hmm. It's a Flea 20, with 5 energy hard points. Yeah, it's kind of like eventually it'll be a free to play Pirate's Bane with mask. That's gonna be that's really cool, and it's only 890 MC right now, the most expensive for some reason.
Huh, weird. But anyway, guys, I think we should probably keep moving on, because the last thing, if we, unless we do playstyle still, even though I don't know if we'll have time for that even, because there's been a lot of content for this this week, is the patch notes coming out, which not a whole lot, but we are getting content, tons of content.
Katanas, woohoo,
bolt-ons. Which, hey, don't be knocking that searchlight on the shoulder bolt-on.
I'm gonna put that on a Warhammer though, man. It needs the damn searchlight on the Warhammer.
It needs one.
I really hope it lights up.
Oh god, yeah, please.
I would totally buy the searchlight if it was universal and I could use the modern ones. But
if we ever have a costume contest. If we ever have a costume contest in the future, I'm looking forward to having more mechs with bolt-ons, so I can increase the mechs I could use to make my costumes.
And I wonder what the flag on the back, what that's going to look like, and if you could put some actually other decals, like say like Karita flag or something like that, would be kind of cool.
That's interesting. Oh yeah, because I wonder if it could be like a blank flag, and you could use the decals to make your own flag.
Yeah,
that'd be pretty cool.
I think that'd be awesome, actually. And the katana hand and back, since there's no hand-to-hand combat, it's really not even worth it. Just makes it look cool.
I'm thinking the most ostentatious you could have is flags on either shoulder, a flag on your back, or Karita, katana in each hand, and like a samurai mask on your head.
Yay. And then you need to wait on the Hatamoto Chi.
Yeah, true.
And then wait until it comes out for C-bills so that I could buy the bolt-ons for 50% off.
That's a long time from now.
Yeah.
So it looks like bolt-ons for a bunch of different mechs, weapon retrofits, which, like we always say, that should have been done the first day when they had them. New cockpit items, blue bug standing cockpit items, hex speakers.
Let's get onto the real. Let's get onto the real changes, which is weapon and mech quirk changes. I was kind of curious about this patch, at least before we get into what actually they are changing, because they were going to say, we're going to look at flamers, we're going to look at heat scale limit. Like they did a big change last time with heat dissipation and all that mechanics, right? And it looks like I think they're mostly happy with it. There's only very slight changes to heat, and that's just one weapon system. So it seems that PGI is quite happy, or at least they're still looking into the big, huge heat changes from last month's patch.
I think they're going to look into it like later on, though, or they're just getting on the data now.
Yeah, that's my guess as well. But right now, at least, they're not doing any immediate changes. So the game is still working it's working well enough that they don't need to quickly change how light engines work, or oh no, flamers are ridiculously overpowered now, or something.
Like Gauss Rifle.
Yep.
I think that's a bonus, since it does have a really short charge time. and just start pumping those things out, you will see a lot more of those coming in, especially for 25 shots per ton. So adding 5 and then extra 2 for the half ton. So you will see a lot of those Gauss rifles, and then the range increases by 100. I don't think it really makes that much of a difference, to tell you the truth. Just the range.
Increase.
Yeah.
So this increases max range, but they don't mention necessarily optimum range. So it reaches further, sure, but it's still doing not much damage at those longer ranges.
Well, yeah, it only does what, 8, right?
It only optimum range it does only 8, but we're talking about maximum range, which is
the most thing you're gonna get out of this is if you fire at slightly over optimum range, you're gonna have less of a damage reduction. Because I don't see anyone shooting this weapon at 1600.
Yeah.
And if you do, it's just kind of like just scary fire support that does nothing, like a bunch of
Because it's more about mental games at that range, because it's still the same sound and still the same screen shake from that range. So it's just a mental game at that point.
Yeah, I wish they changed the optimum range as well if they're emphasizing this long range game, because in the end it's just it gets a bit confusing. Like with heavy Gauss, instead of just double optimum range, it's 4 times it or 3 times it or something like that. It gets hard to when all the weapons max range and optimum range start varying wildly like this.
Yeah.
And I don't see why both should change together if they aren't actually already changing together. The ammo change is nice. Gauss weapons typically don't have good damage per ton, and now the light Gauss is very strongly in the has a good enough damage per ton. It's not as good as an AC-10, but it's getting there.
Mm-hmm.
The rocket launchers, I thought was an interesting mix, and they explain it like in there, but ×2 crit damage multiplier, which is nice, because most of the time when I boat a bunch of rocket launchers, like say on a bushwhacker with 6, it's fun, it's cool, looks awesome, but generally I'm kind of underwhelmed with like, okay, it didn't do really much. I hit them, but didn't do much. And so this is actually going to add something to it. It's like, oh, okay, cool. I exploded a part or exploded a weapon or whatever. So it's going to help out, and it's going to make me feel better when I shoot my rocket launchers.
Yeah, I mean, I don't have much experience with them, honestly. So if you use them, this is going to be a benefit. If you use them.
Yeah. I agree somewhat with the implementation of this kind of design, which is people usually just take it for sheer upfront damage at the start of a fight.
Yeah.
There's no point really holding on to them, or it didn't really feel like there's much point. With increasing the crit multiplier, though, if you throw rocket launchers into open components, they're going to do way more damage. Meaning, if you hold on to them, they're a lot more valuable later on, which does actually make it more tactical than I see enemy, I shoot enemy as soon as possible with rockets.
Yeah.
I'm not sure. Yeah, I'm not sure the crit damage multiplier change is really going to change how people play, but if you can emphasize this a bit more, it would be nice.
Yeah, and I think they said that it's going to be very good if you are not using them early in game and you see a bit of armor that is red to orange, you could really crit someone out nicely.
Yeah, since the spread is pretty high on these, and so just aim for the center torso, you can do some damage to whatever location you're going to hit, and then double the crit, like on them, especially with armors like destroyed.
The only possible downside with going down this direction is it could bring back a problem initially seen when rockets were introduced, which was some people like to take a mech with as many rockets as possible, flank the enemy, and do one big shot to someone's butt. Obviously, there's less armor on the rear and a lot of mechs, and therefore you're going to throw a whole bunch of crits, which means rockets have much better, or they have slightly increased one-shot potential in the rear if you get a good flank on again.
I don't see a lot of people using them because normally if you have 1.5 tons, you'll throw like a rocket 20 in there or something like that. But I really don't see it being a big issue. And I mean, generally, like the only time I use rockets when I go up behind people is on my light mechs on something. I go, look, I got a ton left. I'm gonna go throw a rocket on there, type of thing. That's about it, really. But I don't see it being like a big issue as far as people, boat loading them like crazy, like on a Archer with like the 9 rockets or something. I mean,
on some level, it is fun doing that tactic, but it also is you spend your load and then you're done for the whole match.
Exactly.
If you don't have any backup weapons for that, you're yeah.
But for those who do actually want to do that gimmick, it's kind of fun, the prospect of this being improved. So
yeah, definitely. Those
All right.
serums.
SRM
sorry.
2s, Streak
Yeah.
2s have their heat slightly reduced.
I've seen a couple of mechs that were pretty good on that. You know, like just using the streaks, like Streak 2 has actually worked out pretty well.
Yeah, if Streak 2s and SRM 2s, if I'm not mistaken, have like a separate ghost heat category. So they could, if you like taking a clan mech like the Huntsman, you can take 3 Streak 6s, but you can't add a Streak 4 or another Streak 6 to it without having to dodge ghost heat. But you could throw all those other hardpoints into Streak 2s and fire them all in one big volley without ghost heat. Usually the problem still was just that you were got a very bad damage per heat with streaks or your SRM2s.
Yeah.
And you're doing that very, very quickly. But this change of 1.6, I think it will make a nice change. And you will see them slightly more often on those few niche times it actually does apply.
Right.
True.
The only thing perhaps I would say that my reservations about it would be perhaps the whole point to take these bigger launches with their longer cooldowns and worse damage per second per ton is the heat efficiency. And if you undermine that by making SRM2s or Streak 2s better, then why take the bigger launches? So you don't want to go too far with these kind of changes.
Yeah. So I think right now it's a even balance where they're getting at. So
yeah.
It's not going to change the world, but on some mechs I do have some like SRM2s on them, and they have a very high cooldown, and they can get quite toasty actually because I'm firing them so quickly. So every few heat per second helps a lot.
Mm-hmm.
All right,
Great.
Mechwarrior.
We got
Mechwarrior.
Mechwarrior. Tons of Mechwarrior.
Oh god, yeah. There's a lot.
Yeah, like I think for just time's sake, we should just briefly go over each one. We can go in depth on the one that we think are game changers, but we could spend a lot of time on these.
Yeah. What's the one for the Locust that had like a 60% energy cooldown quirk? Is that the 1M? Like before the patch came in, you know, like before the massive seal system came in.
So I think the 1V had 60% cooldown, but it was horribly nerfed after they started making everything more bland. Now it's down to just 30%. Yeah. And that's 30% on one energy hardpoint.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
The 1V is still Locust to use for Snub-Nose PPC or Light PPC, something like that. Nothing, not much else.
Yeah.
So I like the additional armor. It's
yeah.
My favorite change for the Locust is the Locust 3M, which I'm using as a support mech with ER mediums and AMS. So this makes me slightly more effective.
It's neat if, the 3M, it's one of the smallest 2 AMS mechs on the Innisphere side. Innisphere do not have much in the way at all of AMS quirks. The 10% range isn't as good as I think like the Javelin the Wolfhound. I think there's a Wolfhound with 20% range. But the more quirks for AMS on IS side is appreciated because IS is really lagging behind on AMS tech.
Definitely.
Yeah, besides the Locust 3S is a nice mech, but this is not changing much for their stock loadout, and the Locust 3V is not a mech I personally use.
Yeah, I think the machine gun rate of fire increased.
It's the one with 2 ballistics, 2 energy.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, the 2 energy are getting a 15% cooldown quirk, which is nice. It's better than 0. It used to have something like 30 back in the day. It had rapid fire medium pulse lasers, and they nerfed that into the ground, sadly. There's a couple of ones out there, I think, that got heat reductions. The Locust 1M got 10% heat dissipation, and 3S got a heat gen 5%. Funnily enough, at least on their spreadsheet, they have mislabeled a lot of the things here, like saying, "Oh, we used to have this buff when it didn't," or labeling a buff as a red, as in the negative for some reason.
Yeah.
Which makes it very confusing checking over the stats. But in the end, the Locusts are getting slight buffs across the board usually.
It's good. That mech's fun to play too.
Yeah, it does need to be poked up a bit in terms of its abilities, since now it has to compete with Flea and the Piranha, both of which have a lot more hard points to work with.
Actually, I'm really excited about the Uzil because it's getting a torso structure bonuses, which is really nice. I'm really excited about that. It's one of my favorite mechs to play.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so Azeel, Phoenix Hawk, Grasshopper, a whole bunch of mechs,
Yeah.
Warhawk, the Locusts, the Jenners, all the Jenners, they getting agility, mobility increases, which is nice.
I thought it was weird. Did the bounty hunter actually have 3 energy hard points, and generally it had a Gauss rifle and then 2 ERPPCs or something, and now it's getting an HSL +1 quirk of having 3 now. I don't recall it actually starting off in lore with 3 of them.
So the Bounty Hunter 2 originally starts with 2 ERPPCs, 3 medium lasers, and a Gauss rifle, and they have added a ERPPC +1 heat scale limit quirk. Now I'm interested if this counts like it does with the Night Star.
As far as what?
That you can fire 2 ERPPCs and a Gauss rifle without ghost heat.
Yeah.
Oh,
that's the reason for this quirk.
Okay, that's the reason.
It's gonna be pretty sweet.
That's pretty cool. I might play my bounty hunter again now.
Yeah, I've
That's
rarely
pretty cool.
played mine. That's gonna be pretty sweet.
I'm always a little confused by this. Does it also allow you to fire 3 ERPPCs together without ghost heat?
Yes.
I was just gonna say, that's the main point of it. That's kind of like how the Awesome has it.
Well, it also allows you to do 2 ERPPCs and a Gauss rifle, which is the stock loadout.
Yeah.
Because 3 Inner Sphere ERPPCs is really toasty already.
Yeah. But now you'll be able to do a Gauss rifle and 2 ERPPCs based off of this because they linked the Gauss rifle with the PPCs. For the ghost heat. So this is cool.
So yeah, it gives the Bounty Hunter more of a place other than just being the CB boosted Marauder that lots of people wanted to try out before realizing the 3R was just a much better choice all around, mostly.
Yeah.
The good point also about the Bounty Hunter with this change is it makes the Night Star extra obsolete, and that is always a good thing.
Just get rid of the Night Star. But as always, I'm always glad for more flavor to the game to give us options of like, here, take this one because fucking flavor. So happy.
Yeah, all right. Agility increases. The Bounty Hunter is getting a heat scale limit. A whole bunch of mechs are getting heat scale limit. Like the Nova Cats are getting their laser duration quirks. If you have a set of 8 on the Nova Cat Prime, it would give you like some large laser. Anyway, it can now fire 3 clan large lasers at once without ghost heat. And there's a Nova Cat D, I think it is here, which can fire 3 heavy larges together without ghost heat.
That's me new. I'm scared of that now.
I'm very curious to see how that one pans out. Now, heavy larges only do 16 damage each now, but still, that's 16 times 3, a fair bit of damage.
Now has a ballistic cooldown instead of 8 increased to -15%.
There is also a Direwell that is getting a heat scale limit. This is a set of 8 quirk as well, but the Direwolf A, if you take that with all its stock Omnipods, you can fire 3 large pulse lasers in its right arm together with no ghost heat. 36 damage in 1 pew pew pew.
That's gonna be crazy.
Yeah, but the hard points are only 3 energy, 1 ballistic, and 2 missile. That's all you've got to play with because you are stuck with the stock Omnipods.
Right.
So you can do 3 large pulse, a Gauss rifle, and then like 2 ATM-9s or 2 LRM-20s, something like that, maybe. I haven't obviously had a chance to play around with it, but that's still kind of scary.
Yeah.
Damn.
Also, if PGI like talking about the Timmy only having it was the only mech that had negative quirks. Well, the Direwell has finally caught up and having its -2 head armor quirks removed.
Thank God. That was dumb. Oh man.
The
mobility quirks.
I mean, I've already mentioned a whole bunch of mechs are getting agility, but they're only minor increases. Yes.
I know. I'm so glad that they're giving the Phoenix Hawk more mobility. I'm looking forward to that.
Yeah.
That's nice, but the fact Ryder hasn't mentioned the channel to see free yet.
Yeah, I was going to get onto that. One thing about the agility, I'm not sure about the PDF again, but there's the Banshee 3S that already has lower agility than the rest, and they've mislabeled it to be, it doesn't get any buffs except for its torso pitch and yaw speed, and it claims like it's going to be doubled, although it's the numbers before and after are exactly the same. Let's see if they've actually fixed that. No, they haven't. So it says current torso pitch is 42, and the new one will be 42. So therefore, we're changing it by 48. And I just don't get the math. 42 minus 42 is 0, not 48. What are you changing, PGI? I think this is wrong.
Now, Larsh, I got a question. Are they changing your trial mech? Are they changing that like right now?
I don't know because it says the trial mechs have been updated, and I don't know because they didn't put the builds. I have no idea what they're changing.
Now, like yours was a Nova S, right?
Yeah, with the 3 AMS. I don't know what they're doing with the updates. So they've listed them, but they have not put the loadouts.
That's interesting. Okay.
Aren't those the champions that already exist in the game?
Correct.
Yeah.
Yeah, I imagine it's going to be the same champions as always. Yeah. Right now, it's the Shadowcat and the Hunchback 2C. So those have been taken out of rotation, and they're going to put in the Nova and what's the other medium here?
Hunchback.
I don't see a thing.
2C.
Hunchback. Another Hunchback.
Yeah.
It's the same Hunchback.
Yeah. I'm just curious, like, what did they update on those?
I don't know.
So they're taking out the Shadowcat and putting in the Nova. There we go.
Stay tuned.
Yeah, stay tuned.
We don't use the trial mix. Most people don't use the trial mix anyway.
Yeah. Well, new people do.
Unless you're brand new, try to gain that player base. If you're new, use them.
I mean, I use the trial mix against my
the
wife
last
the
few
one time.
changes though on Mechworks. The biggest changes I think are for the Jenna 2Cs. Their Jenna 2C2 is getting 50% cooldown quirk for its 2 missile hardpoints, 10% laser quirk for duration quirk. The Jenna 2C3 only has 1 missile quirk, but it's getting missile hardpoint, and it's getting an arc duration increase, which is it's neat. It's another narc mech. I sadly only owned the 2 because that one has more jump jets. So I have to go back and buy the 3 again. And the regular Jenna is getting a little bit of a buff as well. Like it's got a bigger buff to its mobility, so it's actually pretty agile now. A universal cooldown quirks. 2 of its variants, I think.
I still think the arms, though, that's what's really killing the Jenna, especially with all its weapons, like in its arm. Period. And so, I don't know.
The Jenna needs some side torso durability, and a lot of these do not get it. It's only center torso for in the sphere. Clan is getting a little bit of durability for in the arms. I'm a little confused though about the Jennas. At least the Jenna F. Poor boy. This is the one with 6 energy. It's like a Wolfhound, but without any of the survival stuff. And because it's so OP, it only gets 5% laser duration quirk. There's Wolfhounds with better laser quirks than that.
But it's jump jets.
The other Jennas are getting cooldown 50%, which is nice, universal. So, but the problem with the Jenna has always been it has plenty of hardpoints for missile and energy. It just gets really toasty. That cooldown quirk needs a heat gen quirk as well. Because Jenna's, they're walking ovens a lot of the time in this game.
Very true. Very true.
So, I mean, no one really plays the Jenna, sadly, other than the Oxide. The Oxide isn't getting touched. So, it's nice they're trying to fix the Jenna, but they aren't actually fixing it. They're just fiddling with some numbers, and it will remain unplayed.
Yeah, I have one. It's unskilled. I never use it. It's I think I have the D variant. Yeah.
I like it. I have them all, and they're just. I play them every once in a while, not as much because of the arm quirk or the armor basically is just really low.
Yeah, they redistributed the armor, and the arms, where most of the energy weapons are mounted, get shot off really easily.
Exactly.
I mean, it's just like with the Ice Ferret. They're buffing its agility. Thank you very much. Its arms still fall off. That's where most of my weapons are. Please help. Arm-mounted mechs. You did it with the Phoenix Hawk, Zeus, Jenna, etc., need arm stuff.
So cool.
Please.
Cool.
Yeah, so look forward to Tuesday. I think that's all the time we have, guys, though. I know we did promise we were going to talk about playstyles, but we bit off more than we can chew, guys, I think.
I'm actually excited about the Marauder. That's going to be cool.
Yeah,
I can't wait to use that one.
A key item.
Yeah.
So maybe we'll get to playstyles next week. Sorry, viewers. If you're looking forward to that one, we had a lot of topics today, guys. So anyway, this has been Lars, your casual mech warrior. Catch me on the YouTubes, Twitters, Twitches with Biter,
Clark,
Ian,
Bye-bye.
and the old Bob 10025.
I'm a banana.
Yes, I'm a banana, and check us out on online, guys, and we'll see you next week.
See you guys later.